Wait. Keep it on. Are you ready for this?
Silent Night, Deadly Night is the latest Christmas-themed horror flick to hit theaters. The film is directed by Mike P. Nelson, and this film is, of course, a remake of the original Silent Night, Deadly Night that came out in 1984. Well, it was supposed to hit theaters in 1984, but it was taken from its release date because it was too graphic and too bloody, and they thought general audiences just couldn't handle such disgusting things. However, it is now 2025, and if the Terrifier movies have taught us anything, is that we will watch anything if it's disgusting, if it's bloody, if it's gross, and so we have a remake of Silent Night, Deadly Night. And I am going to move on to the review, but I did want to show you guys my Christmas-themed room down here, all of the different lights, my movie tree back there, and my horror pumpkin that I bring out for my horror movie reviews even has a Santa hat on. I like the decorations, and I wanted to point them out. All right, with that said, let's do the review for Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Naughty.
So the story for Silent Night, Deadly Night centers around a character named Billy, and in this film, Billy is played by Rohan Campbell. Now, when we're first introduced to Billy in this film, he's still a young child visiting his grandfather in a nursing home, but that is when he witnesses his grandfather die in a very bloody and horrific way. But things go from bad to worse for Billy because as he gets in the car to leave with his mother and father, they are then gunned down by a man wearing a Santa Claus outfit and wielding a shotgun. It's a very tragic moment, obviously something that's going to scar Billy for the rest of his life, witnessing his grandfather die tragically, then witnessing his own mother and father dying right in front of him. But then the movie time jumps to present day where Billy is now a full-grown adult, and Billy himself seems to be a bit of a drifter and someone that hears voices in his head that tell him who is naughty and who deserves to die. Billy himself now is someone that wears the Santa Claus outfit when he goes on his serial killer path. But that's not where I'm going to end the synopsis here. Usually I would just be like, that's the movie, go see it. But I'm going to tell you a little bit more here. Billy then winds up as a drifter, going from town to town looking for work. He winds up in a little town in a shop where there's a girl named Pamela, and Pamela is played by Ruby Modine. Now they hit it off, he ends up getting a job at this shop, and they have a little bit of a romantic relationship that starts to bloom. But again, Billy's not a normal person. Billy has a full voice in his head telling him who's naughty and who deserves to die. So while this romantic relationship starts to bloom in this film, you continue to watch Billy go on a killing spree, killing so many people that the voice in his head tells him are on the naughty list.
Wait a minute. You don't mean...
Yes, that list. You're on it. I checked. NL4.
Are you telling me this clown is a level 4 naughty lister?
A level 4 naughty lister?
Oh, is that funny to you?
And that is the best synopsis that I can give you for Silent Night, Deadly Night. If that sounds like a fun time at the theater, well, this is playing in theaters now, and you should go check it out. Especially if you like horror-themed Christmas movies, definitely try to check this one out on the big screen while it's still in theaters. Now, I am going to get into my positives and my negatives for Silent Night, Deadly Night here in a second, but if this is the first time you ever found my channel, well, I would love for you guys to hit that subscribe button, check out all the different content that I have. Whether you like movie reviews, Blu-ray talk, or even ranked list videos, I've got a little bit of everything on my channel, and I'd love for you guys to check it out. All right, let's get into my positives and my negatives for Silent Night, Deadly Night. My first positive for this movie is going to be how the story itself plays out. As the movie opens, you think you're just following around this crazy psychopath who's killing people. The voice in his head can't be real as he's going around killing all of these different people who maybe did something wrong, but they don't seem like they've done anything, at least what we've seen yet. They don't seem like they've done anything that makes them deserve to die. But the movie, after a few of those kills, really starts to get you on board with why this guy is going out dressed like Santa Claus and killing people, why the voice in his head is telling him, hey, these people are naughty and they need to die. It'll even say, that person, they die tonight. And then that voice will guide Billy to where that person is. And again, the first couple of times it happens in the movie, you're like, I don't know, that guy was kind of a creep, but kind of a creepy old man. Like, I don't know if that deserved an axe to the head. But there's a moment in this movie where the story completely flips. And when you get to this scene, you go, okay, all of these people need to die, and it's just a great moment. And from that moment on in the movie, I was hooked on this guy going around as Santa Claus and killing people. I was on his side. And again, I just like the way the story played out, because I thought, okay, it's going to be this guy. He's scarred as a kid, so he's just a serial killer. Maybe the girl is going to turn into a final girl and she's going to have to protect herself. That's the way this movie's going to go, and it doesn't go that direction at all. Now, admittedly, I've never seen any of the other Silent Night, Deadly Night films. I know the story of the first film getting pulled from theaters, but I've never admittedly watched that movie, and I've never watched any of the sequels after it, so I don't know how close to those movies this movie really went. I guess if it was really close to those movies, maybe people knew what was going to happen down the line, but again, all of this was brand new for me, so for me, the story played out really well, and I really liked how they went from, oh yeah, this guy's kind of a crazy psychopath, to like, oh, I'm on the side of this crazy psychopath immediately. Like, I really like how they did that. That leads me to my next positive, and of course, we're talking about a gory slasher flick, so we got to talk about the gore. The practical effects they used in here too were a lot of fun, but I loved all of the different ways this Santa Claus would kill people. At first, again, he's using an axe, and I was like, okay, looks like that's going to be his primary weapon, but then you see him sort of killing people through the years in one big montage. That's a lot of fun because he uses a lot of different things, including a bow and arrow, to kill a bunch of different people who have been naughty. And again, there's that scene, which I won't spoil here, but he kills people in a lot of different ways in that scene with a lot of different things. So for me, the gory kills had to be on the positive side. I never feel like they went too over the top because they fit what this movie needed them to be. My next positive for this movie is going to be that voice that's in Billy's head. Now, I won't spoil anything here, so I want to be careful about what the voice says or what the voice ends up being, so I'll just leave that alone. But I will say that the voice helps add a little bit of levity to this film. It adds into some of the laughs in this film, because if you've heard me talk about this movie so far, you'll be like, wait, this movie's actually funny too, because it doesn't seem like a very funny movie. It seems like a movie where a serial killer is killing people on the week of Christmas, and you would be right. And it wouldn't be funny if it wasn't for that voice that's in his head, because that voice will say stuff to him that does genuinely make you laugh throughout this movie. It's not a comedy in any way, don't get me wrong, but again, that voice just adds a little bit of levity to this film, some comedic moments where you, the viewer, get to watch and laugh and sort of, oh, okay, I can breathe for a second here, because this guy's not killing people, he's having a conversation with something in his head. My next positive for this movie is going to be that relationship between both Billy and Pamela. At first, you think this isn't going to work out at all because he's a serial killer Santa Claus and she's just this nice small town girl. But as the movie goes along, you see she's got a bit of a rage problem. She doesn't like people who are being mean either, and they end up starting to really go down the same path together, to the point where once he explains things to her in this film, she starts to get on his side. And I thought that was really fun. I really liked the relationship between the two of them. I think Rohan Campbell and Ruby Modine both did a great job in their roles. That'll lead me over to my negatives, and I only have one negative right now for this film, and that is that it does take quite a bit of time to build to what the story is, and then when it finally does get there and you're like, okay, now I get it, now I'm locked in, it felt rushed. So my negative for this movie is that the pacing of it does feel off. It takes a lot of time to build. You're kind of following this character around very slowly for the first half of this film, watching him go through the motions, watching him try to skirt around the fact that he's a serial killer that dresses up like Santa, and then when him and Pamela sort of get on the same page, and then you, the viewer, are on the same page as him, it seems like it goes too fast. It feels like I just was getting on board with these characters, and then things go lightning fast. Some characters even meet a definitive end. I won't say who, but some characters that you just meet in this movie meet a very definitive end, and you're like, I was just getting used to you. And it's not that I didn't like the way they wrapped things up, because I really did. I thought they did a great job sending this movie home. But there's just something about the way the first half of the movie moves at a very slow pace, and then the back half of the movie just goes, and it's almost too fast. So yeah, if I have a negative for this movie, it's the pacing. But does the pace being off in this movie make it a bad movie? No, not at all. I had a really fun time with Silent Night, Deadly Night. It's a film that I would definitely recommend to people, as long as you don't mind some blood and gore in your Christmas movies. And I've learned this about myself. I can watch movies like It's a Wonderful Life or Jingle All the Way or even Home Alone, and I can also watch Violent Night, Terrifier 3, and Silent Night, Deadly Night and still have a really fun Christmas time. So again, if you're looking for a horror Christmas flick to watch in theaters this year, go check out Silent Night, Deadly Night. I don't think you'll be disappointed. But as always, those are just my opinions because that's my review for Silent Night, Deadly Night. Have you guys had a chance to see this film yet? If you have, let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know all of your thoughts, whether you liked this movie, you didn't like this movie, whether we agree or disagree. Just tell me all of your thoughts in that comment section. And finally, guys, if you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button because it helps the video, it helps the channel, and it helps me right here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. All right, guys, to get to the end of my Silent Night, Deadly Night movie review. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a really fun time watching this movie. It's probably the first movie in a while that I've really enjoyed in theaters, although there are quite a few movies coming out this weekend that I'm looking forward to watching and reviewing, so be on the lookout for that. And again, it is December, so I will be dropping all of my ranked lists at the end of this month for 2025, so be on the lookout for that. And in the meantime, if you want to check out any of the other content on my channel, well, I've got all of my best and worst of 2025 right there, and I've got all of my 2025 movie reviews right there.